I made it from 196. I finally hit my goal of 158 pounds. Yeah. 8% body fat. Whereas before it was telling me I was like, I think 24%, 22% body fat.
Wow.
So
That's a
I
good
lost
change.
I lost a lot of weight. Yeah, I feel good physically. I feel happy about, the way that I look because I look more athletic. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Today, I want to frame that in terms of taking care of what you've been given. For me, I just wasn't taking care of it. And I realized it was carrying around a lot of extra weight was really detrimental to my well-being. It was affecting my ability to function to the point where I couldn't even tie my shoes, right? Without being like, oh, my heart, oh, what's going on? So,
Mhm.
and now I'm perfectly fine, man. I could scrub a toilet. I could go run down the street. It's still there, but like it's a little maybe more so underlying than before, right? I feel like maybe one of the really fundamental things that I learned this year on this weight loss journey has been something that's useful for many different things that we might be taking care of in our lives, which is accounting. So the same way that people who are like racking up debt, that's what I was doing with my
Right.
body, racking up debt,
Hmm.
not taking an account of how much energy or resources or calories or dollars, right, that I was using, and
Hmm.
not accounting for how much I was taking in, consuming, right?
Right. Right.
So yeah,
Makes
yeah.
sense.
I
I
guess
like it.
most people in the financial world are trying to get fatter, not skinnier, though, right?
No, no,
They want to
no, no.
accumulate more, right? I mean, isn't that the goal of investment, is to kind of get fat? But I don't know.
You got to
Then
remember
again, it's
perspective.
probably good to have a lean finance so you can enjoy your life and have the things you need, right? Not overspending and
Yeah.
overworking.
I mean, it's.
Right.
I think for finance, the the choice perspective when it comes to like you said, like the debt, trimming out of fat, like it's the stuff that you don't need. Like why have, and I'm guilty, why have like 6 streaming services when you really legitimately only can watch maybe 2, right? Like why have these investments that are pigs when you should just be investing in the stuff you believe in, or the blue chip stocks? Or why have a portfolio that has 18 different strategies and you should just have like 3? you know that's what I think of when I think about when you were talking about like all the accumulated debt, extra calories. It's just extra fluff in the portfolio, extra fluff in your liabilities that might make you feel good when you're doing it, but in actuality, and when you break it down to like the true fundamentals of the words finance and
Right.
budget as you want to live, different, not
Right.
doesn't
Right.
fall in line. So it doesn't
So
matter if
I
you're $10 billion or $500. Like everybody has that, like you did, a journey to go through.
right, right. I mean, the way I look at it now, I'm so happy to just take the moment and input whatever I eat into my phone. And that had
Mhm.
seemed so crazy to me, Matt? Like, oh, this is gonna
Yeah.
stand in my way to eat something, and then to have to like put it in my phone at the same time. God, I gotta eat to live. I don't want nothing to
Right.
stand in my
Right.
way, right?
Right. Right.
Oh,
Right.
what a game changer. Because all of a sudden, it's like I opened my eyes for the very first time, because I could look at my day, I could look at my week, and suddenly I know, did I get enough vitamin A today? I mean, I'm not doing blood testing and stuff so much.
Right.
Some
Right.
people are super into it, continuous glucose monitors stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
do occasionally test my ketone level because I'm doing that ketone diet.
Mm-hmm. That's something that you got to regulate.
I guess it seems to go up and down quite a bit. Sometimes I'm doing really well at a very low ketone level, you know. Sometimes I my ketones come in great, and I might step on the scale and be heavy, a couple pounds, 3 or 4 pounds heavier even the next day, So it's sort of, it's a mystery too, and there's a delayed effect. But being able to see the truth requires actually taking a record and of an accounting. I mean,
Yep.
to me, it's like, it's amazing in this world. I go down to the gas station to buy gas, and the gasoline is, I mean, I'm not an expert on gasoline, but that 87, there's 87 octane, 89 octane. I mean, they've got they got that stuff dialed in. Okay.
Yeah.
And not only that, they don't charge you to the penny. They actually do
Right.
to the tenth of a penny at the gas station, right?
Yeah.
And you have a car for a number of years and it rusts and you throw it away. And then you go to a restaurant or you go to a supermarket or you just go home and open your fridge and we just shovel food in our mouth with much less consideration about the cost and the composition of what we're consuming with our own bodies that we're going to have for so much longer with any luck than your car, right? You might as well just spit in your car, you know?
Yeah. Well, so just put some water in it, see what happens, right?
Just put some, yeah. Well, you know, I could. Human bodies are so amazing; they seem to keep running. We all seem to keep running, right?
Yeah.
So that's really good. Yeah, but oh my goodness! So I heard, like, you know, you could lose 2 pounds a week and it's healthy. And I heard that, you know, in my own experience, because it's not the first time I've lost weight. My own experience is, oh man, I look so weak after I lose weight. I lose so much muscle, right? So I just watch YouTube. We're talking about my weight loss here, right? I just watch YouTube, and that's it. Oh, and then all these, you know, one channel and another channel. I love. By the way, Thomas DeLauer. I love his YouTube channel. That's great stuff.
Is he a fitness guy
Thomas
or what does he do?
DeLauer, yeah. DeLauer. So he's he's just great. I just love his presentation. He's was morbidly obese, and he lost over 100 pounds in like a year using the keto diet, and he's a strong proponent now of intermittent fasting. So he puts out a lot of videos that are very, you know, he goes through, before becoming a fitness guru and losing all this weight, he was a pharmaceutical salesperson, I think. So he's really good at explaining these kinds of like medical studies and stuff like that, and really breaks it down. So I was like, well, you know, I don't like just taking something because somebody else is taking it and it works or whatever. You know, I want to know why the thing is going to work. And he's really good at just kind of explaining it. And
That's good. So that you can kind of figure out how to gauge your reactivity to this diet / supplement / routine, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, right? If I were really experimenting on myself, I would control all the variables and just do one supplement at a time.
Right.
So rather, you know, I heard about a whole bunch of different supplements from Thomas DeLauer and whoever else, and sort of looked at it and thought about my own needs and supplemented accordingly. I had always thought it was just perfectly reasonable to take a multivitamin every day. But upon further consideration, I don't think that just taking a multivitamin is the healthiest option for me. I think that I need less of certain things and more of other things depending on what I eat.
Right. I mean, that totally makes sense. Like, who knows if your body's going to get rid of everything properly, right? What if you have too much vitamin C or vitamin K, right? What if you take a supplement that has way too much for you and you're eating enough? What will your body do with all the excess?
Right. Well, I mean, if it's a, you know, and this is where I don't want to sound like the expert or nothing, but, you know, certain vitamins are water soluble and certain vitamins are
Fat soluble.
fat soluble. And so for me personally, I'm doing an accounting of my water soluble vitamins every day, but I balance my fat soluble vitamins over the course of a week because I know they're going to be in there for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I wasn't recording all of this, I mean, it's so easy. The app even has a barcode scanner, so you can literally just scan the barcode on something. But all the data is input by users, so it's oftentimes incorrect. So I prefer to set them up myself. But then it automatically saves it for next time or whatever. So when I eat a new food, it does take me, 30 or 45 seconds to process the information before I eat it or while I'm eating it. So it's a whole different thing, right?
Different perspective.
Yeah. And so, yeah. And as soon as I started seeing results from that, I really thought about how I might apply this new paradigm for myself. I know people have been doing it forever, okay, since the invention of the abacus. But like, how else could finally tracking information have an effect on my business or my personal life or even my home? So I went out, I was using, I digressed. I forgot to mention, I used the app MyFitnessPal. And my stepsister is a nutritionist. She later told me she recommends this to lots of her clients too. It's a great app. I even paid for it. I don't know, it's $100 a year or something, but they give you even, more detailed information. So I highly, I might get to a certain point where I'm so in tune with how I'm eating that I don't need to use that kind of thing anymore.
Right.
The idea of just using it continually for the rest of my life doesn't seem that daunting to me at all because of how effective it is. Because I had to look it up, right? It's like, I know that losing too much weight one time is unhealthy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to gauge that, right? That would have been a real struggle for me of saying, I'm losing weight too fast. I'm losing weight too slow. But I literally just set up the app and I said, it says, what's your goal? Lose 2 pounds a week. Click it. And then all set up for you, right?
Then you just track everything as it comes in.
As I eat, yeah. And so my rule with myself, more than anything, because everybody's been saying, you're using so much discipline. You're using so much discipline. It's not. It's like, I think life is being just very merciful to me right now, first and foremost. But even if I ate something I'm not supposed to eat or whatever, the rule is just track it, just put it in there, because you can always balance it out over the course of a week. Anything, dude. I'm eating birthday cake and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of we can talk all day about all different kinds of theories and whatever, but like the 80-20 rule, right? If you do 80%, like the 20% funds 80%, but it also works the other way around too, where they talk about 80% of the time if you're doing really well, then the other 20% time you kind of slack off.
Right? Yeah. So that 20% is really golden.
Yeah. And and then Atomic Habits, where one small change, right? You take maybe 5 minutes the whole day spread apart in your three to 5 meals a day. That made a change that affected your entire life, right? Just those 5 minutes of tracking a day.
Yeah.
Not even an hour a week.
And then I think the second big part, though, because I almost want to retract what I had said about birthday cake now that I think about it more. The first birthday in my family that came along was at the beginning of it, and of my journey, my weight loss journey. And I did the sommelier style. You know how sommeliers drink wine?
Yep.
They,
swish it and
put a little in their mouth, spit it out. That's what I had to do the first time, because it was about not discipline, but just breaking habits, like rejecting the sugar. So addicted to it, right?
Yeah. It took a little more
Every time.
mental effort.
Yeah.
And you just had to
No,
prove it to yourself.
it brought me like, it's almost like a downer for me, sugar. You know, like, because it was like booze. That's what it was like. It was like boozing, because
Oh.
I'd be upset, I'd be frustrated about something, whatever, something's nagging me on the inside. And
Mhm.
somehow just eating a bunch of sugar would just kind of make me feel better about everything. Eating a big,
Yeah.
big bowl of ice cream, and then,
Ooh,
the whole bag of popcorn to my head, right? And then the
bro.
Cheez-Its and everything like that. I mean, going hard, bro. And just break that and say, nah, I'm gonna feel it, right? And then
Yeah.
I'm frustrated. Yeah, I'm gonna go run, right?
Yeah.
Or I'll be like, oh, and then I'd sit in the gym, right? Because I'm like, okay, I don't want to get too skinny this time. I gotta try to keep some muscle on so everybody doesn't say I'm just losing my mind or something, So like,
Mhm.
right. So I'm like, okay. I'm sitting there in the gym, like, okay, how am I gonna push? And then I remember, oh, that stuff I used to just eat sugar to forget about, And I still do that. And it's a little embarrassing. Sometimes, like, I'm in the gym and I'm like crying, bro. I'm crying, dude. People are like kind of like looking at me sideways for a second and pretending not to stare. There's tears pouring down my eyes because I'm thinking about the stuff that really gets me, And I'm just like,
Wow.
oh, turn your apps or
It sounds
whatever
like
and let it go.
it
Huh?
sounds like you're discovering yourself on this journey, huh? It's not just about food, and it usually never is.
Right. The weight loss is the least of it, but it's the
Yeah.
most visible.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's the process you can see. Not really talking about the process that's happening inside, but while it's really important, that process that's happening inside, it's it can manifest outwards in the appearance, which makes it a lot easier because people don't know what's going on inside other people. No one should
And
ever assume they know what's going on in other people.
yeah. But for me, it's all hand in hand. Like
Yeah.
the way I feel in my heart, what I'm thinking in my head, and then what I'm doing with my body, and then the way that my body looks over time, and then the way that my home looks over time. So I was like, okay, next thing I'm making great progress. MyFitnessPal, like, how do I fix the rest of my life app? And I went out, I found it. It's called Productive, right? I told you about this before.
Yep.
I apologize for
Productive.io.
reiterating.
No.
Um,
I
IO,
I've
Internet of Things.
yeah.
No,
Is it
it's
the
just
product?
it's basically just a checklist with timers.
Right.
So I'm
Right.
like, okay, I'm gonna clean the house for 30 minutes a day.
Yep.
I'm gonna read Pacific Business News for 30 minutes a day. I'm gonna
Right.
I'm a real estate agent. I'm gonna go prospect for leads 2 hours a day.
Right.
All this kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still working on it. It's really hard. What I found, the big difference is that I really don't hit my goals. I was like, the only way I can make this happen for my life in terms of keeping my house tidy and these different, things that I need to
Yep.
keep up with, I can't do it. I never made it through a single day. I even woke up super early one morning and like drank a bunch of coffee and tried as hard as I could all day. I couldn't do it. It's too hard, bro. I have to be nicer to myself, I guess, right? A
Right.
little bit more.
That's
Set the
what
bar
I was saying. You
lower.
gotta be nice to yourself.
That's humbling.
Maybe not. Maybe
Just
not
like,
set the bar lower, but just be more realistic of expectations. We all have the same amount of time in a day. You could use that both ways. Like you got family, you got a business, you've got relationships you have to keep up with, you got news you have to keep up with. You can't expect to do it all. You just have to expect to do what you can, and inside know that you're doing all that. That's all.
yeah, it's humbling. It's humbling because I don't take the things off my list. So every day I'm looking at this list and
Yeah.
I do what I can do. I just do what I
Yeah.
can do.
At the end of the week, you have 50 hours left on a Friday afternoon, right?
More than, I
50
try
hours
not
of
to.
work left.
I gave my, I think, I gave myself a full work day, of course, right? And
Right.
then I gave myself a bunch of other kind of like home care things, right? I want to spend 30 minutes fixing the house every day, 30 minutes,
Hmm.
working on the yard every day. Really small, but consistent, yeah? Because that's
Yeah.
what I do at the gym. I only go 30 minutes to the gym every day, you know?
It's a lot, bro.
I used to well, not every day, 5 days a week.
That's what is recommended by physicians today.
Really? Well, I look at it. Most people are working harder than me, man. Because I get there and I can see they've got smaller rest sessions between their sets, and
Yeah,
they're already working out when I get there, and they're still working out when I leave.
that is
So
the that is the bane of existence, my friend. Do not compare yourself to others.
yeah. Well, no, oh,
I know,
you're right.
you
You're
have to
right.
you have to find like footing somewhere, but don't let it get to you. That was one of the hardest things. You and I were both in the business where we have mentors, we have trainees. There's new people, there's
Mhm.
mid-level people, and then there's like those who have made it and are just continually making it. And in
Mhm.
order for us to progress, we have to kind of compare ourselves, right, to these people in order to have goals and also to kind of figure out where we stand, right,
Mhm.
inside the collective group. And it
Mhm.
probably took me like 5 years to just finally say, you know what, I'm going to do this my way. And I have enough experience and knowledge to know what I'm doing and know what I'm saying. And it's all that matters to me. I don't care how many clients I have. I don't care what I care about is I know what I'm doing, and I'm comfortable with myself right now. I don't need to be a $1 million producer. I just need to be able to pay the bill. And once I did that, and I just said, work my hardest. If it doesn't work out, failed, it wasn't meant to be. And then the constant, you know, fear or disappointment, or of like, man, why can't you be this good? It just disappeared to, you did good today. You served a lot of people. You helped a lot of people. You can sleep at night knowing that tomorrow's another day. You did all you could today. And once that happened, the business portion of it wasn't as stressful. I mean, I still have stress, of course, every day. We gotta hunt, we gotta find new process, we gotta find new clients, we gotta answer phone calls. But the overall approach to my day to day completely changed. It's not like climbing a
Yeah.
hill. It's just sitting down and being like vigilant about what's going on. It's not about
Mhm.
climbing a
Mhm.
hill and watching for other people. It's just being vigilant for what I'm doing. And that's huge
Right.
change.
Right.
But
Yeah. So you're really putting the yourself in the take care of yourself, right?
right.
Yeah,
And
I like that. That's an important
back
thing.
to back to the health portion for you. What you're saying, I think everybody who has the ability to walk around, get up, try and be healthy, I mean, that should be your first and foremost thing to do, because if you don't take care of yourself, you aren't going to be able to take care of your family, your business, your mission on earth, whatever that is. It's
Exactly. Yep. You got to sharpen the saw, right?
every day.
7 habits over here, I guess. A little
Yeah, I mean,
cliche, perhaps.
well, there's a reason. Like, a lot of those things are cliches and are old sayings just because they work.
Right.
I don't. It's a bird. Call it a bird, right?
Yeah.
Of course, we can't do that with trend
Yeah.
lines, but you know, it is what it is, and I think your transformation has is super motivational, and I'll be waiting for the YouTube
Oh yeah, yeah. I gotta
90
do it
day.
because I gotta cash in on this and sell some Amazon supplements and stuff. Boy, they've been really helpful, man. Do you take any supplements?
Me? No, I used to.
No.
So when you were
Yeah.
saying about all those like supplements you take and all those like how
Well, I
the
think like
sugar makes you mad.
yeah. Uh huh.
right? Like it took me probably like a good 6 months to a year maybe of like getting over like wanting to enjoy food more than like thinking about the ramifications it has. So
Hmm.
like now, if I eat food, like if I eat rice or if I eat like today I had a bacon, egg, and rice breakfast from Core Pancake House, you know. I enjoy eating that, right? So
Yeah,
when I eat it, I enjoy it. And I know it's not
that's
good
good,
for
right?
me,
Oh,
but
okay.
I also know that um it's enjoyable for me. So I'm not eating something like, for me, if I were to eat like, I don't know, let's ice cream, for example. I don't enjoy eating ice cream. So I wouldn't eat it pretty much at all unless I have a craving for it, and usually have like half a scoop of ice cream and I'm good. I'm done. That's all I wanted. I wanted the taste, and that's it. But if you were to put like, I don't know, unhealthy food in front of me, I wouldn't eat it. You know, if there's chips around me, I'm not gonna eat it because I don't care for chips. You know, I'm not gonna eat that kind of stuff. And it took a long time for me to go from it's there, I'm also eat it. Well, why not? It tastes good. To I don't need it. You know, the
Yeah,
ramification of me eating this are not worth the taste. They're not worth the feeling of eating this. It's not worth it. And once you can make that switch in your head, you probably won't have to track all your calories. Maybe if something happened and you got out of whack, maybe you have to go back and kind of realign. But for me, like I told you, I stay at 200.
that's
I
great.
haven't done
You're a tall
anything.
guy too.
Yeah, but you know, I stay here. I'm comfortable, happy, not not like I have a somewhat of a I don't have abs like you, but you know, I'm not overly overweight, and
Uh-huh.
I'm not gaining any
No,
weight. I'm not losing any strength. So I'm
great.
happy
Yeah, you
where I'm
got
at
that
now.
going. That's
But if I
good.
wanted to make a change, I would need to do what you did because I need to get out of this routine that I am at currently. But I'm in an okay routine, not perfect routine. Like I said, I have bacon, eggs, and rice for
Oh,
breakfast,
yeah.
but I don't have that every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Most days I have like a Greek yogurt, if anything. You know, because I like Greek
Right,
yogurt. But
right.
and
Well,
and that's
yeah.
why it's it's all about it's all about your perspective. Like eating something,
Right,
but you're not gonna
right.
know. You're not gonna really know. Like perspective shift doesn't happen because you learn something. It happens because something happened to you. That's usually how it works, right? Like you have to.
Interesting.
It has to happen,
Flesh
or
out
else
that
it's not.
distinction now. It sounds very. Flesh that out for me, man. What do you mean?
I do it a lot. I do it a lot with trading. So
Okay.
when you trade options, you trade zero DTE options. Let's say you're trading the SPX DTE today. Today is
Okay.
do they have? They might not have today. Anyway, zero DTE option, right? You can buy it or you
Right.
can sell it. If you buy it, it goes up. Awesome. If you buy it, it's down. You feel like crap. You buy it and it goes
Right.
down enough times, you're going to say, whoa, that felt like a lot of crap. I shouldn't do that. And then you can go on this and you can sell it and you can feel like crap too. So what does that tell you? Are you a
Yeah.
bad trader? No. What's the problem? Well, you obviously didn't set expectations on your profit loss goals when you entered the trade. So it doesn't matter. Like with stuff like trading, where you can be on either side of the perspective at any time, you have to experience it, or else you just think the other side is right. You think, it's because they do this at the firm, or because they know this when they bought the trade. But it's because, right? Because you can always say, like, the market can go up, it can go down.
Yeah.
And unless you are participating actively, you don't feel anything because it's just numbers on a screen. When you feel your money go to zero, when you feel your account just get destroyed, you don't
Right.
experience that. No,
Paper
no
trading's
technical
not the
analysis
same.
book. Yeah,
Yeah.
paper trade. There, that's probably
That's
a
good.
much faster flesh out. Try paper trading for a week and then try day trading for real for a week. You learn much faster
Yeah.
day trading for real for a
Yeah.
week.
You can sleep way better the first week than you do the second week if it's futures anyway.
Yeah, and it's just human nature. You know, like
Right.
you know it can happen. it's high probability it'll happen because, like, well, like, I don't know what the percentage is, but a high percentage of day traders lose all their money, right? So it's already probabilistically not in your favor.
Yeah.
So, but you still do it, right? You still do it, and until you
Yeah.
experience it and flesh out all those problems that you have with yourself and look inwards and see all those problems you have with yourself, then you can acknowledge those problems and say, okay, this is why I'm not doing good. And then you can flesh it out because you can learn, like, right? We learn. Set stop losses, right? Set profit targets, right?
Mhm.
Most people don't do that unless they've lost thousands of dollars, right? They're just think, it looks easy enough. You go enter
It'll
when it's
come
low
back.
and you buy it when it's high, and
Right.
the market
Yeah.
always recovers. So,
Right.
it's just much
You
more.
get that margin call.
Yeah, I've fortunately never got the margin call except when I made a mistake. Like I
I get margin
accidentally
calls
bought
all the time.
I accidentally bought a calendar, a freaking oil calendar.
Oh,
I don't know
wow.
if you know what an oil calendar spread is,
Okay.
but I bought it as a package, and then it legged out by itself. So when I bought it, I bought a calendar spread, which is a $50 risk trade, right?
Okay.
But when I sold the long leg first.
Oh, so you just open it up to infinite loss or something, yeah.
Right. So what had happened was I put in both trades at the same time, but for some reason the platform only took one, took half my order and didn't fill the second one. So fortunately, it
like what do they call a blast all instead of whatever? There's different kinds of conditions you can set, right?
Right.
Or was it their brokerage error?
Well, I'm not really sure what it was because when I looked at my order chain, it was okay. It looked okay, but it said the risk I was carrying was like $25,000, and I was like, yeah, I'm not comfortable with this kind of risk.
Big guns over there, huh? Ah, yeah, that's scary.
But I mean,
so then what did you do? Take the loss?
No, I ended up exiting the position for I mean, it was a $50 risk position. I was looking to get like maybe a 10%, like a $5 swing, so 5 plus or minus. I ended up coming out about $4 up, so I was okay. But let me tell you, when I was in that trade, when I was naked, a oil call, I mean, those feelings that you have when you're like short a oil call.
Yeah. White knuckles.
And Ukraine is at war. I mean, you're just like, what are you, and you know that's not a good position to take. Like, if you read and you learn, that's not a good position to take if you don't want to be in this position. But you don't know what it feels like until you accidentally do something or do something purposely and then are in that position, right? Like when I was short natural gas, which is why two things: I don't trade natural gas, I don't trade oil.
Yeah.
But you would never learn those things unless you did them, right?
So
there's
volatile,
lots of traders,
so out of control and unpredictable.
Playing with fire. Think, oh, well, the chart looks nice. I'll just enter here and sell. So when it goes higher, and until you feel all those feelings, you won't know what it's like, and you won't have that frontal cortex memory to stop yourself.
Excellent.
The front, right?
I'm glad you're talking about emotions, because I mean that was kind of maybe the third thing I wanted to say about my thoughts in terms of taking care of what you have, and sort of what I learned specifically from this sort of weight loss journey that I just finished, bro. I hit my 158. I'm not gonna lose any more weight now. Okay, if anything, I'll probably gain some weight. Okay.
Yep. Level out, consolidation.
Yeah. Well,
weight consolidation.
I might try to maintain a little bit, like recomp or whatever. See if I can build some more. But I'm perfectly happy to come up another 12 pounds or something if that's where I end up. Fine. I
So
wouldn't have started
best
losing weight if I was 12 pounds heavier than I am now anyway. So, but
best
I
thing
just
to
kind of
do is
wanted to see if I could do it.
neutral bullish position then on the weight.
Yeah, exactly. Neutral bullish, dude. Like, I mean, I just wanted to see it. I heard it's like, it's really hard to get under 10% body fat. Actually, that was the kind of easiest part. I've sort of been eating more and more and more and still losing weight. So I don't know. Maybe I got a worm. Maybe I got a little tapeworm or something. But
Oh boy.
so well. Oh, the third thing I wanted to say about what I learned from my experience, I think, and really it was the first thing I learned is that, and you were just talking about this, the emotional element of caring for an investment or a day trading portfolio. You know, that's what it was for me, dude. It was uh, taking care required me to care, to really, really care. And I remember when I had done this years ago and lost a bunch of weight, it was shortly after the birth of my first kid.
Hmm.
And I had found within myself this like incredible sense of really, really caring about somebody else. And it on that previous experience actually was when I had really focused on that. And so that's what I brought with me this time from the beginning was that sense of like, okay, well, this is going to happen because I care. I can take care of things that I care about, you know? I don't know if I watched too much Care Bears when I was a kid or something, but I think that element is super important.
You should clean it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't care, nothing happens, right?
Throw it away.
If you're like,
Yeah.
this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. It doesn't, right? It doesn't matter what I look like. What does it matter? I'm married already. I have kids. You know, I've already done all the most of the things I need to do to, you know, that I would be like, oh, I gotta look great for this. Like, I don't need to look great for anything. I just be myself. I always have. You know, it's fine.
Oh.
I'm not trying to win
That
a
it
beauty
came out.
contest. But
You should have. You should have tried.
what's that?
You should have tried to enter some sort of weight loss challenge. You would have won, or at least placed really high.
You big? Well, I mean, other people lose
But
10 pounds a
this
month
also
or whatever,
teaches
right?
something about yourself, though.
What's
This
that?
teaches. I mean, there's a lot of people who this teaches a lot about yourself because there's a lot of folks who wouldn't be able to do this without outside accountability, right?
Mm.
You don't have outside accountability, and you're still able to make this challenge work.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do like to share it. I mean, I hope nobody feels like I'm just kind of bragging about it or saying, "Oh, you know, I'm great," because I'm really not, man. I was coming from a really not a miserable state. I'm better. I feel like I'm better, not great, but yeah, no, it's
Well, I mean, you're not there to prove the naysayers. You know, you're more there right now to, well, maybe not, I don't know, but you're more there right now to kind of be like, yeah, this is what I'm doing for me. This is what I'm doing to take responsibility for my body. Not like
yeah.
I'm here to make sure that none of you fools out there know that I can lose it if I say I can lose it. You know, it's a
Well, so like,
byproduct of I know what I want. I'm gonna make true to promises I make. And the most promise I make is a promise I make to myself. And I can do it. Forget all the other
yeah,
people. Right.
yeah. For me, it was really, it was about the time and communication that I had without other people around, you know?
Mhm.
Guess you could
Right.
call it communicating with myself, right? Talking to myself in a way, some self talk. I like that.
I
Self-talk.
mean, I read somewhere or I heard somewhere, I forget where it was, but this talks about how the person you speak to the most is yourself. So if the relationship with yourself isn't good, not going to have good relationship with others. And
Yeah,
that to me, it was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, you know, like,
right, right. I really had to focus on my alone time, especially the time, like what I did in my first half hour of being awake. It's
oh
really
yeah.
important, really, really important to me. Matt, I love looking at the stock market. but it is
Oh,
not the first thing I should be doing with my mind in the morning when I wake up.
no, it's not.
Money is important, but I feel like money is kind of a derivative of other things which are primary.
Mhm.
And so because it's so connected with money, I feel like it draws me away from like there's some other things I need to address first within my mind before
Mhm.
I start thinking about money. Money's really important, don't get me wrong,
Oh yeah.
but it ain't
One
the
of the
first
things
thing
we
on my
gotta
mind when I
take
wake up.
responsibility for. Yeah, no, that's
I don't like it.
important.
Yeah. At night, I like looking at it at night. I like looking at it like 45 minutes after I wake up. I'm fine. It was very interesting, you know, and I'm tempted every day. But I feel like that was actually holding me down. Was waking up first thing in the
Oh.
morning, and first thing before I got out of bed, I used to like get on that. I want to see the NASDAQ futures right away.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
just wasn't the right time. You know, first I need to do a couple things, and then after
Gotta
that,
get your
it's great.
headspace correct. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta get it right. And I think too that it's like people say gifts are important to, because we're talking about taking care of what we've been given. It's important to share what we've been given with others. Yeah. I know that I really I brought up the word stewardship and then I downed it for the very reason of, well, stewardship is oftentimes given in the context of Christian people giving money to their church, right? I didn't want to hammer on that because I'm not, this isn't preacher tube, right? So, so, what was my point with that was that, like my daughter, right? She's perfectly fine. She's not skinny. She's not fat. Nothing. She's great weight. She just plays sports and eats pretty healthy. But she sees me every time I get food. I'm either weighing it or measuring it with the measuring cup or a tablespoon or teaspoon or whatever.
Mhm.
So I think I had suggested it at one time because she was like down in a whole box of Teddy Grahams one time.
Ooh.
And yeah, so now when she's, we make dinner or whatever, she eats her dinner. But when she's specifically like reaching for snacks between meals, she'll go ahead, she looks at the back of the box to see what the serving size is, and she eats one serving of that.
That's
And
good.
I thought, you know what, that's probably good. Because I don't want my poor 10-year-old daughter to be, over exercising or like getting anorexic or bulimic or something and getting super caught up in her body image like her dad's just about doing. But
You don't want to give her a complex, but you also don't want her to
yeah,
not be healthy, right?
it's all right. Yeah, exactly. I wasn't really worrying about it and getting on their case, especially because I was doing keto and everything like that. That's not going to be healthy for the kids, right?
Right,
So
right.
they tried my keto chocolates, but the sugar, alcohol, whatever, erythritol or whatever is too much for them. So, but I feel like stuff like that can rub off, right? Or it's really interesting. My wife kept challenging me for a long time. Why don't you post on Facebook so other people could see what you just did, Sam, right? When I was like
Mhm.
25, 30 pounds down. So I started, I'll post it up like a few times about, weight loss, whatever, before and after picture. You seen that, right?
Yeah, I saw. That's good
Yeah,
stuff.
pretty dramatic. Yeah. Yeah. And then it's interesting because like, it also kind of happened to be sort of like, one of those things that real estate agents, and you're probably the same way too, is you're supposed to sort of maintain connection with the broader sphere of influence and people that you're supposed to reach out and talk to people that once in a while so you don't lose touch, right? And I'll tell you, I never had so many people message me off of Facebook or Instagram story than these posts I did of my before and after picture of weight loss. And it's been great, not because I get to glow, well, yeah, because I get to glow because I finally lost some weight, but also it's been great to like reconnect with some
Reconnect.
people. I haven't seen them in years and years and years, man. Like my one of my friends from Little League when I was younger than my daughter is now. messaged me, and
Jeez.
he's saying, oh, he's gonna have a he's getting married next year, and he's gotten overweight, and his cholesterol and everything. Like, what did you do? Like, I need to lose weight before my wedding. And that's great to have an opportunity to sort of not just to both to actually, first and foremost, just to reconnect with these people is just so nice in itself. And then I feel like, well, okay, this is kind of my job too. It's good that everybody that I know knows, I touch base or whatever, just in case that guy, his name's Matt too, just in case he talks to his cousin, moves to Hawaii or something. We had a long talk. He knows what I do now. I didn't pitch him, but I asked him what he does. He asked me what I do and everything. Now we know what we do. So, that's good for my business. And then, but also, I'm really happy to be able to share that a little bit with other people. Like, not that I'm a doctor or anything like that, but I seem to have gotten it dialed in this time. So it's kind of nice. Like, if that doesn't just help me, but actually gets to help other people too, that gives me a little warm feeling.
It should, and that's what I say is the most important thing is believing in what you're doing and believing in helping other people do what they want to do. I mean, that's like the opposite of what life is like now, right? We seem to be in a place where all we want to do is do stuff that other people tell us to do, and then make people not do what they want to do. The world we're
Yeah,
living in.
yeah. Right. Kind of like, I had a friend who he's a great guy, but he went through a whole drug thing for a while. I knew he used kind of like drugs or whatever, but I didn't know it was like really he felt like that was a core like problem in his life. But anyway, so he went through the whole, program, whatever, rehab, and he feels like he's doing much, much better now. Um I guess like he must have been just hiding it really well. But so he was saying how for him, um, they were teaching him how when people finally overcome their drug addiction, they go out and they start telling everyone else how to live their life. Like they suddenly think that they're better than everybody else.
Yep.
You ever hear about something like that? Because I don't know. I don't know much about like drug rehab or whatever it's called.
Well, I don't know about that, but for part of the program, I know for AA, because I have a good friend who's been through the program 2 times just to make sure it works, right? And the last step of their process is actually to become a mentor and to share their experiences and their kind of their transformation at the end of the tunnel, right? To kind of provide the um, the addict or the one who went through the program, the post addict, with some kind of a way to solidify and to remember their experience. And it's part of that process, because a lot of times it's like, I mean, not to put anyone who has any kind of addictive personalities at any kind of disadvantage, but a lot of times they'll find another thing to put in there. It's like if they were doing drugs for whatever reason, they now aren't doing drugs, but they're doing something that is fulfilling that need for
Right.
right, that
That's
hole
why so
that
many.
they're.
That's why so many recovered addicts find Jesus, right?
Yes, and then
Or
they
other
go and then they
things, weight
talk
loss,
about.
even, right? I don't know.
Well, they find something, because people can be very addictive, and we love to chase shiny things. And if the shiny thing
Right.
is providing us with dopamine, serotonin, and adrenaline all at once, that's holy moly, what a great feeling. So they
Oh
find other
yeah.
things, and that's why a lot of, again, not to talk or group any one type of people together, but a lot of people, like you said, who do go through these programs become very loud and very a big advocate for church or for the program that they were part of.
Yeah.
So
Zealous.
yeah, they become the zealots of the program or zealots of Christ or whatever, right? So it's
Yeah.
and that's just human nature, and it's really hard, right? Because you want to be like, good for you. I'm so glad you found whatever it is, and this program is working for you. But at the same time, you don't, for those people who are going through those things, they shouldn't be judging you either, I feel, for whatever it's worth. So like, for example, not to put you on the spot or anything, but if you saw an overweight person and you were like, dude, I was there with you, I had a hard time getting up in the morning, moving around, even just cleaning the house was, I was reading hard and I couldn't do it. And I just was like, you know what? I can't do anything and my health sucks. You can change. You can lose weight. You can start this process and feel much better. I feel like that shouldn't be your go-to conversation with someone who is overweight visually.
Exactly. Because maybe they don't feel bad about being overweight.
Yeah.
They don't feel bad about being overweight. I don't feel bad about them being overweight. Why even call them overweight?
Right. And that's where I really like, and I really think that the whole like find your tribe and 1000 True Fan type of a community is better, is where if there is somebody, perhaps this gentleman, someone sitting next to this gentleman is like, you know what, I don't think it's possible for me. I mean, all you guys on TV, you guys are all on these like, designer drugs, and you guys have like the special trainers, and you can just tell them like, no, bro, I downloaded this app. I got 3 kids, I got a wife, I got to work.
Yeah.
And here I am, 5 months later, feeling great. You can do it too. And then that's where that conversation becomes much more powerful. You're not telling somebody how to live their life. You're sharing with somebody how you lived your life. And that's a completely different conversation than the first one where you're telling someone
I statements versus you statements. Oh, it sounds like therapy. It sounds like couples counseling.
Yeah, I mean, all of it's related. Everything is related. And I hope
right from the heart, right? That's where that's where it goes to. Yeah, exactly. If you just walk up to fat people and tell them to lose weight, it's like you're missing the point. Yeah. Because for them, to me, what losing weight means to me, to somebody else, it might not mean that at all. To them, it might be something different. Like, maybe it's some financial goal or something like that. But I would just hope that other people would also, I cherish that other people can also have that experience of setting goals that are good for them and enjoying the process of achieving them. Yeah.
And that's the message. And then the other end of the perspective is you're just gloating, right? And and that's where we have the problems of society nowadays. It's we're trying to help. We are, right? Like I used to, when I started with finance and started with, like selling investments and retirement accounts, like, are you saving for retirement? Well, no, I mean, right? You don't talk to you don't go up to like someone on the street who looks like they're a prospective home buyer and be like, do you own a home? You should. Right. You want to own the best asset that you can possibly own in Hawaii?
Oh, you said you said a homeless person?
No. So to just anyone who could be a potential home buyer. Just anybody
who looks like that.
Right. And that's exactly what going to the overweight person in your mind is doing, right? And I used to do that when I was in finance. Like you work, you have 401k, or how much are you contributing? Like I was interrogating these people, right? Because I'm like, I know what you should do to make your retirement good. This is what I went to college for. This is what I'm doing now as my job. I'm going to tell you what to do. Yeah, that doesn't work. And you have to be in a place like how you are right now, where you're like, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm doing this. I don't want to make you do this, but if you want to know what I did, I'm more than willing to help you out. And that's the shift that we as salespeople have to come to at the end of, or at the kind of start of the self-actualization of your career. You know, it's what you are helping people with, because you yourself feel that you have the education and knowledge and hopefully experience to educate people on, but you can never educate someone who doesn't want to learn anything. So it's always that tug of war where they have to come to, which is unfortunate, right? Like you can't have the I'm sorry, I'm going to use it again just because it's so fitting. You can't have the come to
Right.
Jesus moment
Hmm.
until you have the come to Jesus moment. And that's not, you're not someone throwing him at you. It's you are going to that person. And the come to Jesus statement has been used in in secular work context before.
Right.
So
Just
I think
figuratively,
yeah, I think it's okay to say, but
figuratively
that's how
and
I
literally.
feel now.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's how I feel now. It's like, if you want to learn about it, ask. I'm here. I'll answer your questions. But until you want to come out and reach out to me, you can stay, you know, hands length, arms length, and that's okay. I'm not going to push any of this stuff on you. You want to learn, more than willing to share. But you know what? I know you do you. You got more important things probably. When you're ready, I'm here. And that's the best way to. Well, that's the way I do it. I'm not saying it's the best way. That's the best way for me.
You
To
let them
do it.
come to you, and then you pounce.
Let them come to me, and then you just
Nah.
hit them with the education. You hit them with what they need to know, and they most people make decisions. I mean, we can talk about referrals later on, but in another podcast.
Yeah.
But that's my primary business is referrals. People come to me when they need help,
Says a
and I
lot.
help them, and the process is much quicker. There's much more trust already built on the front end, because I am not trying to sell them anything. They know they need
Right.
help from me, and I can provide them with all the education. And I always say in the preface, I don't charge anything. If for whatever reason it doesn't work out, wasn't meant to be, it's not my fault or your fault. It's not meant to be, and that's it. There's no
Beautiful,
like,
man.
it's because no. I've seen enough transactions to know that not everything happens perfectly, and that's perfectly okay. That's just the line of work that I'm in. That's the business that we have to deal with, and that's okay. And
That's beautiful, man.
that's how it should be for all of the things that we ask each other for, right? No hard feelings. We do our best, and that's the bottom line.
Yeah, I like that. Cool. Well, on that note, I guess we should wrap up, but should probably say something to our audience too in closing. Matt, would you do the honors?
Well, this is the Just Us podcast / YouTube. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want to hear anything more about Sam's journey or about what we do professionally, like I said, more than willing if you ask, but we're not going to preach to you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.